guys, welcome back to another movie review. Yes, we are doing movie reviews like every other day this month. It is absolutely crazy. I think this month alone I've so far watched like 6 or 7 films, which is why I watched the entirety of last month. It's been a crazy month. But anyways, I went to see The Lost King. This is the new movie starring Sally Hawkins and Steve Coogan, and it's basically the true story of how Sally Hawkins' character Philippa in real life found Richard III's grave, like the king, Richard III. Apparently he was like buried and like the Tudors basically made him out to be like not this very popular person, and then I gave him bad press and all this propaganda way back when, and made him out to be like this villain. Obviously we didn't have social media, we didn't have like newspapers, it was all relied on like drawings and stuff, so they could draw whatever they wanted. They weren't taking photos of him, they made him look evil in like portraits and stuff. It's a really interesting movie to me, especially being a true story, but also from like a gender point of view as well. It was really interesting in terms of like rights for women's rights versus men and all that type of stuff. So interesting film, wasn't what I expected it to be. The trailer was like giving a lot away because we know the story. We know that she found Richard III. It was all over the news, wild press and all that. And I remember at the time, it just wasn't really like in on the story, but I remember it being in the news and stuff. And basically Sally Hawkins played this really good character, Philippa, who suffers with ME. She gets obsessed with things. Her like marriage was broken down because of it. I think she's got 2 young boys. She's got a job that's just rubbish and just not inspiring. And basically she just wants to have something in her life that she's got something to focus on and something she really enjoys. And she goes to see Richard III, the play, the Shakespeare play, and starts to like do a bit of a hobby and gets books on him, and then she joins this like fan club society, and then it just goes from there, and she just eventually finds the grave. Now the movie is fantastic from my point of view. I love the movie. It's very British. It's a British film. It feels like a British film. It feels like a British drama. It's made by BBC Films. It's right up my street. I'm quite biased when it comes to British films because I quite like seeing familiarity in movies, like Britain in films. I love it. I don't know why, I just love Britain in movies. But this one was no exception. I loved it. Really good. Way back when I went to see The Duke, which was the true story of a guy who stole a painting, for equal rights for like a labour movement and stuff. And that is very similar styles in these movies. But I really did enjoy this film. Sally Hawkins, I thought, was phenomenal in this film. Like, she was brilliant. She really captivated the character. She definitely took me into the world of what she was thinking, and I was definitely on the same page as her, and going through this journey with her. That was what it was. It was emotional. There were some sad moments in there, as I touched upon earlier, with the gender stuff. She actually, I'm not going to say it, but like, she found him, but then somebody else wanted to take the credit for her work. It was really wrong, and and all that, and all she wanted to do was just tell her story. Really an inspiring story, that if you want something, if you see something and you have a vision for something, you can achieve it. You can get that goal. You just gotta keep going towards it. Really inspiring story, especially somebody who like does YouTube and stuff. Without getting too deep, it's like, if I want to be a big YouTuber, I can just focus on it and I can get there one day. She just found a king, for God's sake, in a car park. Like, do you know what I mean? It's mad. So the movie, what did I rate it? I gave it a 4-star. It's not a top tier great movie, but from an enjoyable point of view, from a educational point of view, from good performance of actors. Steve Coogan as well, didn't touch on him. He was okay. Felt a bit like a cameo, his role though. He didn't really feel like part of the movie as much as she did, of course. But I thought he was okay, but nothing like Sally Hawkins. Sally Hawkins for me was amazing in this film, and she's been good before. In the past, I saw Phantom of the Opera, which is one of my top 10 movies of the year. She was brilliant in that as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing more of her stuff as and when they come out. But yeah, 4-star. It's one of my top 20 films of the year. It's going to be below Woman King on my list on Letterboxd. It is. Woman King for me is still a better film. But I think story-wise, I think this was a better story. It's a nice story. But from a movie point of view, it's 4 stars. It's not up. It's in my top 20. It's just not. It's not, It's one of those films that you'll definitely put on come Christmas time, watch a Christmas morning, it'll be on TV, no doubt. It's one of those. It's made from the same people who made Philomena, which again is another like true story of like Judi Dench and Steve Coogan actually trying to find Judi Dench's real son or daughter or something. Really interesting movie that is. So very like good similarities between the pair, and well worth watching that as well if you haven't. But yeah, there it is, The Lost King. I would recommend it. Really enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down below if you've seen it. If you're going to see it, let me know down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Of course, please do subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.